Hi, this is Rochelle Adravis, and I have put together a presentation using Tina Boogren's book, Take Time for Yourself. This can't be the usual presentation that I would normally give, especially when we have such unusual times right now. So I'm going to focus on what I need and what I think others are needing right now. The target of this presentation, this is about you, is to discover the needs and the goals that educators can use right now for our own self-care plans. We are going to connect this to what we already know, going way back to when we were taking our education classes. And we're going to connect this to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So here we go. To bring our very best selves to this time of uncertainty, we have to learn how to manage during this time. So I'm going to ask you a question, and then I'll wait 3 seconds, and then I'll give you the answer. So what do you think, on an average, how many times does an educator make an educational decision? This is based on a veteran teacher on an average day. So what do you think? What do you think that number is? On an average, an educational decision is made 1,500 times during an average day. And as we know, we are not on average days right now. So that number, research has indicated, has to be a lot higher than 1,500. So I'm going to take the work from the New Teacher Center, and I want you to think about that time that we have during our school year. The first couple months, how are you feeling? You're feeling excited. You have an anticipation of what the new year is going to bring. And then after a couple months, we start getting into a survival mode. We're overloaded with the work that we have to do with our students. And then we start to really dip in this chart. So it's a chart that is called the dip chart. And now we're into a disillusion. We are in disillusion phase. And we're trying to navigate how during that time when we are feeling at our lowest. This is the stage that we're in right now, is we are losing our ability. We are in those winter months is when this normally happens. We're losing that ability to be able to pick ourselves up. We're like roadkill on the road right now. So how do we pick ourselves up? Well, we do it by what we all know when we're in the airplane and on the airplane. And they're telling us always, do your mask first before you assist someone next to you. So it's going to be the same thing that we do with our students. We're going to put the mask on first ourselves so we can turn around and help our students. We're going to take time and we're going to pick ourselves up off of the road so that we can get back to a place where we're good for ourselves and then good for our students. We have to learn how to take care of ourselves before we can do helping of others. So here is our connection. Do you remember Maslow's hierarchy? So there are 6 levels here. We talk about these mostly when we're talking about our students and what our students need to be able to do the work that we're asking them to do in the classroom. But we're going to turn this on ourselves right now. So what do we have to do? Starting at the very bottom of that hierarchy, we have to be able to work and feel that foundation and set that foundation for ourselves, the basic needs at the bottom. And so when we look at this hierarchy, we're going to add some questions to it in just a second. So our levels have to be solid at the bottom. They have to be strong, solid there so that they can be strong up at the top. And that is where we want to get to. So now looking at the questions that correlate with the hierarchy, we're still going to start down at the bottom. So looking at the left, we're going to ask ourselves these questions. At the very bottom of the foundation of this pyramid, Are my basic needs being met? How about the breathing and the food, the water, our shelter, our belonging with that someone else, our basic needs, the sleep? Do I feel safe? My safety, the security. If I've said no to any of these, I want to pause there. So then I go up. Do I feel like I belong? This is where we're all really questioning is do I belong, and how do I belong in a world where I have to stay at home now? Do I feel confident? Am I living my best life? And if any of those things down below aren't happening, and I'm feeling that security from underneath, then I'm not going to be able to live my best life, and I'm not going to have that connection to something greater than myself. And that's where teachers live. We live in those top two areas where we have those questions. So now we're going to take just a little bit of a deeper dive into those levels. So think about the hierarchy and think of that pyramid. That level 1. So here's something that you can do. Level 1 is the diet, the sleep, the exercise. Get back to drinking more water. That was one of the things that I noticed in my 2 weeks here. My bottled water hasn't gone down. I've been drinking more of the other things. Don't start with the coffee and the pop. So I have to get back to the drinking more water. How can I create that level 2? How can I create that safety? It's my schedules, bringing a schedule to my day. Calm yourself. Do you have a photo? So take your smartphone and find a photo that makes you smile. Take that photo and make it your screenshot, your screensaver, your background. Then that level 3, that belonging. How do we give someone full attention? I'm here at my home by myself. I don't have someone else to be connecting with. So how do I give full attention to someone? We add humor, share a laugh. My sister sent me the funniest video the other day that just totally cracked me up, and it totally surprised me, but I was laughing out loud. Watching the animal videos makes me laugh. Then we move to the level 4, the self-esteem. Pay attention to the way that you talk to yourself. What is that inner dialogue that you have? Would you turn around and would you say those same words to someone that you care about? If you wouldn't say those words to them, why would you say those words to yourself? And then I have a challenge for you. You see the hashtag Flawsome. We all have flaws, and we are all awesome in the same way. So take a picture of yourself and use the hashtag and use it on Twitter and hashtag it with Flawsome. We have flaws about ourselves, but we are still awesome at the same time. That is that self-dialogue, that dialogue that we have with ourselves. When we have those levels 1, 2, 3, and 4 going well for us, then level 5, we are able to have that living our best life. Finding our flow. What does the finding your flow mean? That means taking that time and set down your devices. Put your laptop down, anything that's electronic that is taking your attention away. So let's find that idle time to let your mind just have that reset time. What is something that you are passionate about, something that you love to do? Promise to put down your laptop, the TV off, hide your phone, and take this idle time for 40 minutes and do it for 40 days straight. So you want to engage in something that you really love. This is what's going to help you create that flow. Be totally absorbed in it. And you remember how when you watch your students and they lose all that sense of time, or even when you're teaching something that you're really passionate about and you lose your sense of time, that's getting in that flow. And then once we move to level 6, here we are at that place where all teachers are. We're doing this, we're in education because of something greater than ourselves. So reach out to help someone else. Then what I'd like you to do is take the word gratitude and find gratitude in something every single day. So I went out and I took a picture of something that I am grateful for. So take a gratitude journal, and maybe it's going to be a photo journal, things that you are grateful for, and do that at least once a day. And that will help you get to that place that you are here for something greater than just yourself. So here we're going to take a deep breath. We're just going to do 3 quick things to visualize so that we can slow ourselves down. And I'm thinking back to that hierarchy, and I'm thinking back to those questions. So if I got stuck down at the bottom 2 levels, I want to calm my nervous system. So here's a strategy to calm my nervous system. It's called box breathing. And they use this as a technique for first responders that are going out into the field. So I want you to put your hand on your stomach by your belly button, and I want you to sit straight up, put your feet on the floor and ground yourself and feel your feet on the floor, and take a deep belly breath, not just a shallow breath. You're going to take a belly breath. So the pattern is going to be 4 seconds of a deep breathe, 4 seconds of a hold, 4 seconds of an exhale, and then 4 seconds of a hold again. So here we go. Let's take a deep belly breath for 4 seconds. Hold it for 4 seconds. And then exhale for 4 seconds. Then hold that for 4 seconds. Now let's do that one more time. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. So now let's do doodling. Take that word gratitude and write it out somewhere. Use capital letters, use lowercase letters, do it in cursive. And now just take your pen or your pencil, whatever you have, and then just trace around it, following the curves of the written letter the letters that you just have written out. So you'll have a bubble around it. If you have colored pencils around, you grab a different color, and now follow that same line and create a second bubble on the outside of the first bubble. And do that several times. Just give yourself the opportunity to get back to calming yourself and your nervous system. Another thing, we all have a lot of smartphones now, and we have smart watches too. We can create a new habit of deep breathing. So create a habit and set an alarm so that it makes your phone or it makes your watch vibrate. When that alarm goes off, pause. Do a box breathing, do a doodling, do something that calms you. Maybe it's a meditation, maybe it's something else. But set an alarm and create a habit to pause and to calm your nervous system. So now I have one more challenge for you. I want to thank you for all that you do. And here are some commitments to strive and to reach for is a challenge that is 20 for 2020. The author of this book started this in 2018, and her challenge was 18 for 2018. Last year, the challenge was 19 for 2019. You see the pattern, right? So you want to write down 20 different things that you can make commitments to. These aren't commitments that you have, but they're commitments to giving you some of that idle time and to also give you that self-care plan. So maybe it's move every day doing something. Maybe it's more yoga. Maybe it's making yourself a playlist. For me, I